Aloha, everybody. Joining us right now, we have our expert surfing correspondent, a rapper, and a friend of mine for many years. Please welcome Kyle Raps,
Aloha, makalolo.
surfing expert. So, you want to tell us a little bit about your surfing background and how you fit into the whole scene?
Yeah, I've been serving since the pandemic, like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I turned it into like a little bit of a rap niche where I found a bunch of other black surfers, and now we're just terrorizing the waters, in a cool way. You know what I mean? Found a safe space on the waters, and then I started rapping about it too. So that's where I'm at. That's my journey. Now I surf like 3 times a week in LA.
3 times a week. That's actually a lot. So, right now, the Olympics are taking place in Tahiti, of all places.
Hmm.
And I read that the spot that they chose is considered like one of the most dangerous
Yes.
because the places where the wave breaks and then the surfers fall off is only like 1 to 3 feet deep and it's over coral reef. And then there's a
Yes.
big drop off.
Yeah,
This is all
Tia
true.
Hopo, yeah, is it's insane. It's often known as like one of the most dangerous spots. It's a big wave too, and it's a very powerful wave. So you're talking like it gets up to 50 feet. Now it hasn't been 50 feet yet in these competitions, and they would not surf in that condition for the competition. But yes, it's that big because it has a coral reef that it's like a sharp drop off. So it's like shallow and then mad deep all of a sudden, and it's a sharp coral reef that the wave just slams right onto. Okay, pretty dangerous, pretty deadly. People die. We've already had some injuries. We like I'm part of that
No,
community,
it's
but
way, it's
same.
way,
It's
it's
we.
way. Stand behind it.
Yeah, we've already incurred a few one head injury, a couple broken boards, a couple rescues. So yeah, yeah.
Why do you think they chose this place? Just because it's so gnarly and
I
fun?
think it was a little bit of a France flex. First of all, like we still have colonial power.
Mm.
You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
they want to flex Polynesia.
Right.
I think secondly, it is like a legitimately dope surf wave. Like it is like one of the most beautiful places in the world and one of the most beautiful waves in the world.
So you say it's a legitimately beautiful surf wave, as
Hmm.
if every wave that happens is like the same wave. Is
So
that a thing, or tell me about
it's a,
that?
it's a thing. So they call it a wave, right? One particular surf spot they'll call a wave as if it is one wave, right? Even though there are many different waves that are there to catch. It's just sort of surf vibe, surf lingo to a degree. Oh, that's a great wave. How's pipeline? Oh, that pipeline is a very dangerous wave.
Right. It's like,
That's
yeah, which one? The fifth
right.
one, the sixth
Yeah,
one? It's
pick
like,
a
no, it's
wave,
just
right?
the
Yeah, but
wave.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So that brings me kind of to my next question, which I guess you kind of started to answer already. I was having a hard time understanding how this is a objectively scoreable Olympic sport when so
Hmm.
much of it seems to depend on the quality of the wave you get.
Hmm.
So what if one person goes out, gets a sick wave, bro, and then the next person gets a dud?
Right. You have to have supreme wave selection. Okay, you have to have that skill, and that is like a next level skill honed by surfers, right?
Okay.
You can fake someone out. So now it's like in the very beginning, and we're going to get into priority, right? But in the very beginning, no one has priority. We're paddling out. Who's going to choose the first wave? Am I going to fight to try to get in front of the first wave? Okay. There's a little gamesmanship there. There's, hey, take it, bro. That's just dope. And if it's they call it a, oftentimes the second or third wave in a set is the best wave. Okay, so that's A. That's A. Once priority comes into play, which I can break down for you a little bit more specifically in a minute. But
Please
once
do.
priority comes into play, now it's like, which wave am I going to choose? Right. The waves oftentimes in a set in a given day are not that dramatically different. I mean, they're different, but they're going to be around the same height. If they're are they rideable today in this window in this hour? Do they barrel? They're not going to be. They're usually going to be somewhat consistent within 10 minutes to an hour, right? Each
Okay.
heat is half an hour, so it works.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So what you're telling me is wave selection is part of the sport.
It's a huge part of the sport.
Okay.
Yeah, like being able to like say, okay, this wave is dope. Like I can tell that this wave, I can feel. There's like this sort of thing they say about like the goat Kelly Slater that he had this weird knack for knowing when like this next level wave was going to come and seeing it and feeling it. It's almost like they say it's a spiritual thing. It's very woo woo.
Yeah.
Wave
Woo
selection
woo.
is woo woo.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Um, are you good at wave selection?
I'm trash. Compared to these folks, I am trash. Like I would just
No,
die.
but
I would pick
for your like recreational
for
surfing.
being like an advanced beginner.
Mhm.
I'm pretty good. I'd say I'm better than your average advanced beginner at wave selection. And it's about patience. It's about like, really like looking, scanning the horizon, seeing where the wave is breaking, seeing if it looks like it's going to be rideable, if it's going to be open, as they say. Yeah. And then also sometimes like faking like you're going to take the whack one.
To fake out your opponents.
Fake it out. Yeah.
Is there ever bad blood or bad vibes in the? Let's start with the recreational surf scenario
Yeah.
where someone's taking all the waves and they're not following the rules of the ocean and the rules of surfing.
The way that oftentimes it happens is you're going to see old cranky white dudes just pissed off. It's like, why are they even in there? Just to like express their rage and all that shit. So like essentially, the more experienced people hog the waves because they're the fastest. They're the fastest to get it, and then they paddle back out the fastest and they get it again, right? And if you cut in front of them, then they're pissed at you, right? And so like they can always make it look like you cut in front of them. You see, I'm already pissed.
Yeah, you're pissed. I can tell.
Yeah, you feel me? So yes, there's a lot of tension in the water. Oftentimes, if you find like a secret spot, that's the thing. You want to find a spot where just you and your homies can go. Especially for me, as like more of an adult learner, like I want to be able to go to a spot where the homies, we don't care, we can share waves, we can cut each other off as love. But in the classic surf lineup, yeah, it gets pretty egregious.
Gets cutthroat out there.
It gets pretty rough, and people cut each. There's stories of slashed tires. There's all that point
Really?
break shit. You stay off my wave. Shit goes down. People get punched.
What happens if two people get on the same wave?
So they call it a party wave.
I like it.
If it's consented,
Okay.
if it's a consented double ride, that's a party
Otherwise, it's
wave.
an assault.
If it's an
Assault wave.
assault, if it's not, if one person who has the right of way who caught the wave earlier, let's say, and then another person sort of jumps on it ahead of them and sets a crash course, right? Because he's going sideways on the wave, right? Then it's called dropping in, and that's known as a cardinal offense, in the lineup.
Okay. Two logistical questions I still have. I want to talk about the priority thing, and then I also want to talk about what is the objective of when you get in the wave. Is it just to stay standing and don't get knocked down by the white part of the wave?
By the whites.
You gotta watch out for the whites.
That's the objective of my life. Let's be honest.
Objective of the sport. Don't get knocked down by the whites, please.
Yeah. So in terms of this situation with how to ride a wave or there's so much here. When you're a beginner, you just want to get on. You want to stand up. You want to not get knocked down. When you are more advanced, you want to go down the line. Okay, that means essentially you are turning on the wave in the direction that the open part of the wave, the white water is like sort of the back part where it's crashing, and the open part, the wave face, is. And so like if you can continue to be in front of the white water, you can go down the line quite far. And then there's turns. So you can go. So in order to sort of stay on the wave, you might need to do a bottom turn, which is going, coming down, and then you're going up to the lip of the wave, to sort of like, okay, and you can go up and down. There's a lot of weaving that goes down. If you're super advanced, you're doing like aerials and crazy stuff. If you're like next level advanced, and this is what you're seeing in Tiahopo, this is what you're seeing in the Olympics, is you get inside the barrel of a wave, the tube of a wave. And this is like the timing is insane because you now have to be sort of in a wave that is so big that it has this, sort of barreling, rolling effect. And you're in the hole. You're in the fucking hole.
It's really crazy. And then sometimes you think that they got eaten by the wave.
They get eaten, yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, boom, they pop
spits
out.
them out, and they call it the spit. There's this area at the end of the wave that like it's like, and it spits and it stings. And the sort of, if it stings when you come out, you just rode a dope ass wave.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then so if you make it all the way through the barrel of the wave and you're still standing on the other side, that's like a 10? That's as good as you can do?
Crazy next level
in the
Olympics. In the Olympics, size matters. And if it's a wave of seismic proportions and you get into that gut of that barrel deep where you disappear, you're behind the curtain, they call it, right? Yeah. And then you come out of that spit, it could almost be deemed a 10 off top because it's
Yeah.
a dangerous wave, it's a dangerous drop, called a drop, and then okay. However, there are some like smaller barrels or medium-sized barrels. So a lot of the guys you see, they'll take a medium barrel, and then once they get out, they're like, I'm still chilling, and so they'll do some tricks. They'll do some tricks on the outside of the barrel before they hop out.
And those post barrel tricks are taken into account for the
For
score.
the score, style,
Okay.
there's a few different things. Yeah, like certain things. Actually, I wrote them down because the commentators they repeat. Waves of consequence is a thing that is a constant theme, and it's a wave that if you crash on, they're gonna be repercussions. You feel me? And then sort of like taking a critical drop is another thing. Like if you wait long enough so that your drop is as steep as possible, that gets a better score. So there's all how you position yourself in the barrel, that gets a better score. Your style,
Because sometimes I see they're touching the back of the wave.
and when they touch
That's
the back
dope.
of the wave, they want to slow down so they can get back into the barrel. They're
Mm.
not just petting the wave.
That's what I thought.
you
I
thought
go, that's a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, is it ever taken into account how hot the surfer is? I feel like this is the sport where people are objectified the most. Tell me if I'm speaking out of turn here.
Listen, you're speaking out of turn, but I welcome it, and I do think it matters. For example, in this specific
Thank you.
Olympics, yes, there's a beautiful man, Medina. What's his first name? Gabriel Medina.
The guy who got that epic photo.
And he's levitating and his fingers up. And if he wasn't hot, if we were looking at an ugly stick, that's not viral.
Come on. It's not viral, but it is viral because he's beautiful
gorgeous.
and he's flying through the air like Jesus.
Dude, Jesus.
Okay.
The girl I have a crush on literally liked, like I showed her the picture and then I like went to follow him. She had already liked like 10 of his pictures. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. She's in there like a barrel, baby. She's in the DMs like a barrel.
Dude. Yes.
Please.
Ah.
Okay. So sorry for taking it there, but I knew it had an effect.
It has to happen.
With this sport and this sport alone.
Well, style too. So the ease at which how comfortable you fly, how loose you hang, that's also part of it. So there is style and I think one's physical heat is also a style thing. So.
Okay, I hate to bring it up, but sharks and whales.
Yeah.
Go off.
We just lost somebody in the North Shore of Oahu, Tamayo, R.I.P. Tamayo. This was about a month ago. To a shark, and he was like a lifelong. It's so wild. Lifelong surfer in Hawaii, lifeguard. He was in movies and shit. He was out by himself, 45 years old, just chilling, by himself in a nice secret break. He gets chomped. I mean, that is insane.
That is insane.
I think when you're in the water, the level of denial is just so high. You're just so amped for these waves, the vibe, the nature, that you're just like, it happens to me. Like before I'm in the water, I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm dead. Once I'm in the water, I'm like, maybe I could punch a shark.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me?
If I can ride this barrel, why would a shark have shit on me?
I will surf on the shark.
How about that?
Whales.
I'll put the.
No.
Yeah, that could be kind of epic. No, never saw one.
I've never seen a whale in the water. I've seen a lot of sea lions. I've seen a lot of dolphins. Okay. But whales,
That's
I've
beautiful.
seen some, videos of surfers where they like a breach surf. I mean, that's like a lifetime, once in a lifetime experience.
Once in a lifetime, but there happens to be a drone flying overhead. How'd that happen? I've seen so many videos of like once in a lifetime whale encounters where there happens to be a drone flying over.
Pretty good.
Once in a lifetime.
Pretty good.
Thank God we had the drone.
Pretty good.
Thoughts on Colin Jost's coverage? I think it's really funny. They're leaning into this comedy element in the whole Olympics. They got Keenan and Kevin Hart doing these really funny nightly recaps.
I love the way they've gone with announcing in the Olympics. And what's interesting about the coverage in the surfing one is it's like this deep Australian guy. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like it gets a little grating. I'm not a huge fan of the Australian accent. Sorry. I don't know who I'm apologizing to.
Please don't apologize.
Okay. I wish they had like a hood, you know what I'm saying? Like a hood surf thing. They did have a clip of Kevin Hart and somebody, but Kevin Hart talking about there's no black people will ever be out there during the typhoon, type thing, which I thought was kind of funny. But at any rate, yeah, I like the way they're going.
One day.
I want to see more black Olympians in surfing.
Well, you're part of like the black surf community.
Yeah.
Is anybody getting good enough or has already been good enough that they can take this leap?
I mean, as good as like Mike February is, and he's incredible. He's a South African. It's like it's so fun. It's so like fine tuned to get to that point where you're like your barrel game is that strong, and you really have to have strong barrel game in order to do Olympic or top competition. There's a local dude named Julian Williams. Shout out Julian Williams. I know the guy, and it's so crazy because you see him do flips and dips and all the shit that you can never do, and then he just gets off and he's a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? Gets off the wave, and you're just like, I know this guy. It's that I'm proud.
You should be. It just came to my mind. Would this be one of the? Oh, you should be. So, it just came to my mind as you were saying that. Would you say that surfing is one of the rare sports? I don't know what I'm gonna say. Like, it seems so recreational.
Yeah.
Who's out there scouting for the super talented kids?
It's interesting.
Because with basketball, it's like, okay, you're playing basketball at school. So maybe you get into like the academy pipeline because someone saw you at school. But if you're surfing with your friends, who's finding the talent?
In the same way that like a basketball court or a neighborhood court could be like, this dude runs the court. A surf break, it's like, this is that dude on the surf break. And then it's like, if that dude on that surf break goes to another surf break and is like, oh, I'm dominant on this one too, before you know it, that person gets a reputation. And then you have competitions. So they start doing local competitions. They start blowing up in that regards too. The people who are showing up for that are like, you see photographers taking pictures. You see, all kinds of stuff on Instagram of, oh, that dude did this trick. Oh, so, it starts to build.
Interesting. Okay. Thoughts on... So the finals were supposed to be tonight. As I think they're postponed till tomorrow, which is when this will come out.
It's actually further. So Thursday.
Okay, good. I'm gonna put this out tomorrow. So
Thursday,
let's talk winner.
So Thursday, I don't even think we'll get to the finals till maybe the weekend, because Thursday is when they're going to resume round 3 for the women. It's kind of messed up. They did the round 3 for the guys, and then they were like, it's too big for the women. We're postponing. It was supposed to be right after.
That just reminded me of another thing I heard about this particular place that they're in Tahiti, that they're holding this competition, that women were actually banned from surfing this from 2006 to 2022 because they said it was too dangerous for the women.
That's right. Yeah. It's what can I say? I do think there are some things to mention here.
Please.
Okay. So just some notable things that have happened. The Brazilian João Chianca had to remove Jesus from his board.
Why?
It was a religious violation. You're not allowed to like rep any specific religious thing.
Really? I didn't know that.
People with crosses like doing flips on gymnasts, gym floor.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Right? But no, but he did have a huge Jesus like painted on the front of his board, and apparently that was not the look.
What about all the soccer players who have huge cross tats going all down their arm?
I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so that was
of note to me. Tim Elter, the German, mooned everyone on one of his duck dives first round. Yeah, that was sort of a noteworthy experience. Also, you have a couple of locals who are in the competition, local Tahitians, and I found this one who is a white French, which is also, I think, just kind of interesting. He's very embraced still. And then one he's a man. And then the other one is the woman who is actually, she looks like of color, and she's also in the competition. And they're thought to have the advantage because they grew up surfing that break.
So what country are they playing for?
They're for France.
France.
Yeah. They're colonized. To our
random question popped into my head. Is there ever beef over like native people on these islands who it's like this is their surf spot, and then random outside whites or otherwise?
Yeah, Cowley Vost is the other one. Just the man. I just want to feel like I'm official, but yes, I'll tell you. So in Hawaii, for example, the locals are like real serious about like pissed off. Like, you took over our shit. We had a kingdom, and you took over our shit and made us a state. and now you're trying to take our surf, right? You're trying to like
Mhm.
overcrowd our surf. And so sometimes they're like, yo, like if you like it's locals only, it's like it's Hawaiians only on this break right now. There's like
Are they white Hawaiians or are they indigenous
that's an
Hawaiians?
interesting point.
Because sometimes white
Like to
Hawaiians,
claim like white folks like to claim
they,
Hawaiian. Let's be honest.
yeah,
Yeah. And
it's
who
true.
wouldn't? But I mean like, you know, they're beautiful
Beautiful
people.
place. Beautiful
Beautiful
place.
people.
Beautiful place. Gorgeous.
And so you know, I think Hawaiians are also a little generous in that if you're like down with the culture, you know a little bit of the language, you call someone auntie, uncle, you know what I'm saying? They'll let you on that break. But if you want some real white boy shit, they're gonna kick you off that break. And that's not everything, but that's not every time, but there's definitely I've been told that that's a thing.
Yeah, Connor's not getting on.
Connor's definitely not
Connor's not
invited to
getting
the
this
barbecue,
wave.
you know.
Yeah. Copy. Okay. Any other things on your list?
Our America, we got the guys are all knocked out. Including the two-time world champion JJ Florence. I think that's all I got, man.
But the women are still in. Okay,
3 women are
prediction
in.
for gold medal because I'm going to place a bet on DraftKings.
Carissa Moore will get gold for.
You think?
Carissa Moore and she's U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the only bet I would feel safe making. The guys, it's just like there's so many different things going on with that. I mean, it would be beautiful if Medina got it because I mean he's got that picture. If we got gold along with that picture and like, you know what I mean, that would be all time. So
perfect. Yeah. Will you come back and talk to us when it's all over?
I'm with it, 100%.
Love you, bro.
I love you too.
Talk soon.
Right.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Hey everybody, we're back with more Olympic coverage. We got Transcontinental Trina reporting live from the Olympic Village. Trina, what up?
Frex, it is just buzzing here tonight. It is buzzing here tonight with the women's all-around gold, Team USA gold.
USA. That was so exciting. Simone Biles and the girls take home U.S. gold. It's being called the Redemption Tour, and baby, the tour has stopped in Goldsville. Shout out to them. Great story for Simone Biles overcoming, what was it, 2021? She had to withdraw from the Olympics for mental reasons. She got the twisties. Now, baby, she's back.
Yeah. 2020 Tokyo. Yep.
She's back, baby.
She's back. The girls are here. The men's team is exciting. What are we jumping into first? You tell me.
First, I want to touch on a few things from the women's team. Okay. One of my favorite moments, because these girls are so young and all the athletes, something that makes this Olympics a first of its kind is that all the athletes are on TikTok. So we're actually seeing the Olympics through each individual athlete's eyes, as well as through the eyes of Peacock NBC Universal TV, which is pretty fun. So I don't know if you saw this little moment right after they won the gold. They're all like getting their stuff, whatever. People are congratulating them. They're off to the side. And the mic picks up them going, okay, I want to do the TikTok. I want to do this TikTok with this song. And then I want you to do this TikTok. Like they were discussing like who was going to do which TikTok. I was
That's
like,
really
this
cute.
Is awesome.
That's really cute. And you know what's funny too? That it's like, relatively speaking to me, I'm like, they're very young women. But the truth is, this is the oldest U.S. women's gymnastics squad ever. Simone Biles is the oldest U.S. gymnast in the Olympics ever at 27 years old.
Now that's crazy because right when they won gold, it got me thinking back to our glory days, 96, and the Magnificent Seven. The U.S. gymnastics team in 1996 Atlanta Games were the first U.S. gymnastics team to win gold ever, I think. I'm pretty sure ever. I'm pretty sure during that time the Russians had a lock on it.
Oh yeah, touche.
Yeah. Anyway, so they were the first U.S. team ever to win gold, and they were the youngest team ever. And I went back and I watched Carrie Strug hit that pommel horse and break her ankle and stick that landing and then get carried off by the coach. And what a moment that was.
Yes. Or the vault. The vault. Yes. Carrie Strug played by Chris Kattan on Saturday Night Live, which I loved.
That was crazy.
Which I loved.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Then we got men's gymnastics. Wait, anything else you want to say about the women other than, there's nothing to say. It was a beautiful moment.
Well, for the U.S. women's team, I think we've said it all. A couple things. So Italy actually got their women's gymnastics all around. Italy got their first medal in like 96 years, I think the announcer said. They got the silver. They got the silver medal.
Wow.
What a big day for my daughter, who is Italian American. She's just, Italians did a lot today. We're going to get into it. And then also shout out Lori Hernandez, who was on the 2016 Olympic gold team. I loved her commentating today. She was so good with like technical knowledge. And I was just like, oh, I didn't see that half twist, but now that you mention it, yeah.
Now that you bring it up, speaking of like seeing things, how crazy is the technology they're using where when somebody does a move like off the vault or whatever, they stop them at different points in their vault and you can see the whole thing.
Yeah. They do the like tick, 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 like the different
tick,
turns
that,
each
that,
turn.
that.
Yeah.
You go, damn, they are really for real defying gravity.
Yes.
Which brings us to our boys gymnastics team yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Now they ended up taking home bronze, which was honestly as good as gold because I think that's
Sincerely.
the first time the men's team has medaled since what, 2008?
2008.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
And the big meme, so basically the Olympics is memes and TikToks. So the big meme of that story was who's being called the Clark Kent of the gymnastics team or the pommel horse geek. They're calling them, it's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
The Wall Street Journal's headline was the pommel horse geek who broke the men's gymnastics drought. A Rubik's Cube obsessed specialist named Steven Nedorosik came through on the last event to clinch the bronze. They're being kind of disrespectful.
That is very disrespectful. He's an electric engineer, though, so probably a dork.
No. Well, apparently all he's been posting from the games is about solving Rubik's Cubes and his timing for solving the Rubik's Cubes.
Oh, nice. I mean, people do that.
I don't know. Steven, though,
guess what? He's an Olympian and a bronze medalist. So you can call him what you want, but call him Mr. Bronze Medalist.
Call him him.
Call him him.
Timothy Chalamet.
Him.
As they say over in the NBA. Anytime someone gets a good basket, they just go, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah. There's that great meme of him falling asleep everywhere with his glasses on. Because he only does one event, and that's pommel horse.
Right.
And so the meme is just him asleep with his glasses on, and it's like he's just waiting to be activated to do the pommel horse.
No, literally. It's like, I forget who it was that said it, but they were like, when someone had gone into like whatever gym he was in, he was like 8 years old or something and got on a pommel horse, and they were like, okay, this is nuts. Like, and he is so good. Imagine you make an Olympic team for gymnastics, but you only like, you're a specialist to that degree where it's like, hey, you're going to come to Paris for the whole time. You're going to sit through everyone's everything. We have vault, we have bars, the boys don't have vault. They have pommel horse stuff. Yeah. So we have bars, we have uneven bars, or parallel bars, all that shit. We're just going to, like you said, activate you in the last possible moment.
Right.
And the pressure. What do you know about pressure?
Because it was down to him to win that medal. He was the last one to go. He was the Kerri Strug of this Olympics. Because rewatching that Kerri Strug vault, she had to go. And it was down to her and her alone.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're going to bring you to Paris. Do me a favor. Don't speak to anyone. Don't touch anything. Don't do anything. Don't go anywhere. Yeah. We'll let you know when you're up for the pommel horse.
That's right. Also, we have a very... like we're watching it from the United States. So they're always going to cut to, if anyone on the US team is doing something, they're going to cut to them. So from what a marvel are the Chinese gymnasts on the rings. They're unfuckwittable. Nobody could touch, even come that is like what carries them. The fact that they get no technical deductions on rings. These motherfuckers are built like, I don't know what. And then, but this one Japanese dude, damn, I forgot his name. It was like, it starts with a D, like Daike or something like that. This dude on the high bar, when I tell you, you know how like they'll go off the high bar and like do a couple flips and like grab it back or whatever. Mm-hmm. My man got up there and like poured himself a cup of tea and like sat for a second and like had a sip and then grabbed the bar. Like when I tell you he flung himself 30 feet in the air, my man's nice.
He was like, I think I'll try defying gravity.
Yeah.
You forget that, like, because To me, all I care about in gymnastics is the girls.
I know.
But this year has reminded me it can be actually pretty fun to watch the men too.
Yeah, because they do the elements that we don't. So, like, for example, like when they're doing either pommel horse, the girls don't do, of course, but even in their floor routines, like, you know how the
Yeah.
girls will do like a pirouette in like a pistol
But the
pirouette or
guys get
something.
on the floor and pretend they have no legs and they're a
They do
dreidel.
flares. They do flares.
What's it called? That
A
flares,
flare.
yeah. They pretend they're like a dreidel. They spin themselves around as if they have no legs.
Yes.
Now I forgot that is fun to watch.
Yes. No, it's so, and they do the same thing on the pommel horse. And yeah, it's just great. It's truly a marvel.
So while we all know and love the women's gymnastics, but now we're warming up to the men again. Over on rugby, which generally is considered like people care more about men's rugby than women's rugby. Let me tell you something.
Tell me. I was there.
The women's rugby team today was outstanding. And I'm a fan of the sport now.
Same.
Sign me the fuck up.
Same.
Sign me up. Especially, I love this team and I love this sport. I never watched rugby in my life. I love this sport.
Today was the first day.
So a breakdown of what happened. They have been doing really well. They lost to, I'm going to say, either New Zealand or Australia earlier in the day. So they were knocked down to the bronze medal match. Now, the United States, men or women, have never medaled in rugby in any Olympic Games ever.
Right.
So they played against, who was that, Australia? They were playing?
Australia.
Okay. So Australia was up by 1 goal, whatever. I don't totally understand the point system.
I don't know. Yeah, is it a goal, a touchdown?
Don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to say. Don't matter.
Okay.
So they were down.
And it's 5 points. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. So U.S. was down. There was 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds left.
90
seconds?
Yes.
Okay. There was
Australia
90
scored.
seconds left. Right. And then it gets down to the U.S. has one last possession with a mere few seconds on the clock. Someone gets tackled. They pass it out. It's kind of like we go, all right, probably this is it. You could set, like, the Australians were giddy with excitement. They could taste the bronze in their teeth. They could taste the medal. They were about to win. They had it in the bag. And this one bitch from the USA gets that ball.
Alex Cedric.
Shout her out.
Yep.
She gets tossed that ball. She runs through defenders, pushes them off like she's He-Man.
Get off me.
And
Get
runs
off me.
from dead one side of the court, field, whatever we're going to pitch, whatever we're going to call it. She runs the entire length of the field, dives in, scores with like 3 seconds left, and then gets the kick that wins the game. It was so joyful, so incredible. Sign me up. And this, the girl Ilona Maurer.
I don't know.
Ilona. She's a TikTok star. And she's one of their star players. And she's so funny and awesome.
Huh.
She's a killer. She's a killer.
Immediate retraction. You were right. When Alex Cedric got that possession, there was 17 seconds left on the clock. The
17.
The 90 seconds was when Australia scored. There was only 90 seconds left.
Yes.
But then, they do this thing where they can fumble, right? Like, I don't know what ends a play.
So I had Kevin on the other day to explain rugby because he played it. And I said the same thing. I go, when does the play end? Because it seems like they get tackled, but it never ends. He said it never.
Poke somebody's eye out. Like,
yeah, it's like you gotta like, hiya.
Yeah.
He said it never ends. It's continuous play, like soccer is continuous play. It never really stops unless there's a clear, like, violent penalty.
Right. And so that's what was cool because, like, yeah, when there was 17 seconds left, the one girl had it. And then she, like, I say fumbled because I watch football, you know, but then she like passed it to another player. And then she was looking around and she passed it. And yeah, Cedric put the fucking Jets on, yo. Put the Jets on. Nobody
could catch her. It was just an awesome moment to watch.
And I will quote, because there was a British announcer and an Australian announcer.
Okay.
I don't do a great Australian accent, but here I go. I'm going to give it my best for all our viewers out there. It was, quote, despair, delight, joy, sorrow, everything.
I think that was actually pretty good. Despair, joy, sorrow, everything. That is so funny.
And it was actually so sweet. I've been very sentimental. I got a little misty-eyed watching a few of the things today, I'll be honest.
So did I.
Jordan Child's floor routine. I got a little misty-eyed for her floor routine. But then in the rugby, the British announcer said, so the point is they've never been on this stage, right? What you said.
Never.
Like they've never medaled.
Never gotten this far, men or women.
And the women's USA team in these games, they're the only team with a female head coach for rugby. But the British announcer goes, he said they were the oldest squad, right? And they probably wouldn't see another Olympics again. But like, and he said, quote, "It's hard to be what you can't see. And this USA team has been big as a billboard."
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Truly.
There was another sad story that made me emotional.
What?
Our girl Coco is going home.
Tell me
Coco
about
Gauff. Coco was in, I believe, the 3rd round today, and she was playing against this Croatian woman, Dana Vekic. The other woman returned a serve over to Coco's side.
Okay.
Coco gets in position to hit the ball back over. The ball falls on the line, and as the ball falls on the line, the ref calls out, like the ball was out of bounds. But at the same time he called out, Coco had wound up already to hit the ball. And as soon as she heard out, she kind of pulled her swing up, which messed up her shot. And her shot hit the net. So the other person got that point. Does this make sense, the picture I'm painting?
Nah.
So the ref immediately goes, correction, actually it was in. And because Coco's return hit the net, the other woman still gets the point. Now, the official rules of tennis state the chair umpire must decide if the original out was a hindrance to either player. If it was a hindrance, the point has to be replayed. If it was not a hindrance, the player who hit the ball wins the point. Meaning, did this call by the ref, whether it was right or wrong, affect the player's shot? Coco says it did affect my shot because I heard you call out. As I was swinging, I heard you call out. And so I kind of changed my shot, like pulled it up, and that's what made the ball hit the net. Does this make sense the way I'm explaining it?
Yes.
So basically everyone says that this is an impossible rule to enforce to begin with because it requires the umpire to go inside the mind of the player and decide whether the out call I'm reading now.
Yeah.
And decide whether the out call hindered the swing of the player. In almost all cases, the answer would figure to be yes, since the calls are made as soon as the ball bounces and generally before the racket makes contact with the ball. It's generally accepted that a loud yell is a disruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fuck?
It's why umpires are constantly saying, quiet, please, to the crowd.
Yes.
They don't allow noise because any loud noise is a distraction, including an umpire yelling out. Whether it's out or in, you're yelling something, it affects. Now, this caused a many minutes long argument between Coco and the ref and eventually the higher up ref. I don't know who that was, where Coco ends up in tears. It was actually really painful to watch because you could just feel how frustrating it was. And like my heart just broke for her. But she said, quote, "This always happens to me at the French Open every time. I always have to advocate for myself on this court all the time. It happens to me and it happened to Serena."
Yep.
Before returning to the court to serve down, she said, "It's not fair at all. You guys are not fair to me. And I hope one day that this game becomes fair because it's not." There were 2 previous incidents with Coco where a call like this happened. It was horrible to watch. She was in tears. It was terrible. And then so they have to go back to resume playing the game. And I think after the game, I'm pretty sure she said, look, I don't know if we had gotten to replay that point. I don't know if I would have won because I was down. But the fact is, there's no way that we should not have replayed that point.
Exactly.
And after that, nobody could really recover their composure because things broke down to such a great degree.
Yeah. There is an option here. It's not, well, either you have to get the point or she has to get the point. This is not like Sophie's choice here. Just replay the point. Just replay the point.
That's what the rules say. You're supposed to replay. But they're saying, and she says it affected my swing, and the ref says no, it did not. There was like an infographic that I wish I had saved. Mm-hmm. That was the dialogue between her and the ref, where she's going, you have to be 100% sure. And he's saying, well, I was 100% sure, but now you're telling me I'm not. So I guess I know I'm wrong, but I can't change my decision.
Right.
And
Right.
that's when she bugged out.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Something to that effect. He was like, oh, yeah, either way, he's fuck him. That's so
Yeah.
foul. Because
Foul.
again, to her point, she's like, okay, one point in a match, in a whatever, isn't the make or break of everything. Like, all right, I was already down, fine. But like you said, it hits the morale. It's like it's such an impact.
It's such a disturbance, and it's such an injustice.
That's really
bullshit.
sad. That's really fucked up.
I know.
I was at that US Open game where Serena broke her racket, where she was playing Naomi
Really?
Osaka. I was there. And let me tell you something. I was gone off the fucking honey juices. Okay. You know about the honey juices?
I remember that, yeah.
Yo, I was gone off the honey juice. But I snapped into it and I was like, what's going on? And they weren't saying anything. So my girl, who I knew was watching the game or the match, whatever, I was texting her and I was like, bro, what are they saying on TV? Because it's just like nothing. Like we're just literally watching Serena and this dude go at it. And she's like breaking her racket. Like it's nuts. And Naomi Osaka's there like, what do I do? Yeah. So I've seen that literally with my own eyes, like a situation where you're like, this poor woman is like pleading, and it brings so much other stuff into question of just like, is this the letter of the law, or is this at someone's discretion?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
If it's at someone's discretion, then you have to consider that like you don't know where this person's coming from.
Right.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up, and you know, we love you, Coco. America loves you.
For sure.
I heard like Simone Biles do an interview that like broke my heart, talking about when she withdrew from the last Olympics because she did one of her events and she didn't do well, and all she could think in her head was like, America hates me. America hates me. Like my country hates me.
Damn,
it's like,
yeah.
no, babe. We love you. Coco, we love you. Even when people win or lose, Team USA, baby, we love you.
Whatever. Everyone loves you, Simone. And today she became the most decorated Team USA gymnast of all time.
Hell yeah.
5 gold medals, 2 silver, 1 bronze, if I'm not mistaken.
Something else became the most decorated of all time today. You know what that was? The Seine River became the most decorated of all time with E. coli. Who could have predicted this would happen?
Well,
4 years in the making. Who could have predicted it would come down to the day of the big old triathlon? Which is supposed to include biking, running, and swimming. And the swimming was supposed to take place in the Seine River. Everyone said, I'm not sure it's going to be clean enough, because especially that's where the untreated wastewater from Paris goes when it rains. The wastewater and the rainwater run through the same pipes. It fills the Seine with E. coli.
Jesus Christ.
They've been trying to clean it up for years and years. They thought they had it last week. The mayor took a dip. Now it comes down. They have to it comes down to the day of the event. They have to postpone. And get this. So if it's not, so today's Tuesday that we're recording. They postponed it till Wednesday. If it's not better by Wednesday, they have to postpone it till Friday. And on Friday, it will no longer include swimming. So it won't be a triathlon. It'll be a duathlon where they just bike and run, which is not the event that these athletes train for, which is Barnarnars. That's crazy. Why don't you have a backup? I thought they had a backup. I can't believe that they don't have a backup. It was the river or nothing.
Yeah, no, that's devastating to hear.
Devastating. Because it's a completely different event. Yeah. Imagine thinking you're going to play like 5-on-5 basketball and they're like, oh, actually it's 3-on-3 basketball.
Yeah.
Huh? No, it can't be. You can't just take out the swimming completely. I mean, I hope it works out in their favor, but we saw what happened at the opening ceremony with all the rain. So that baby is flooded, and it's supposed to rain in Paris again tonight. So,
bro. This isn't, it's wild that they don't, like, if you can't, I guess, what, do they not have facilities? There's a lot of swimming coming up in the next few days. So like, but bro, good for those athletes, because I would have been seriously questioning like whether or not I want to compete if I would have had to bring my ass into the Seine.
Yeah, but now they might not. I wonder if any of them will not compete because they completely remove the swimming. Because some people, the swimming is their best event in the triathlon, and some people it's their worst. So it's not fair.
It's not fair.
That's our whole
Holy-
theme. It's not fair.
It's not. Yeah,
We're
today's
like, it's
episode-
not right and it's not fair.
Today's episode, we're ranking people's value all day,
Yeah,
but it's
today.
not fair.
Not fair.
Yeah, no, they should move like the bike route or whatever to fucking closer to the facilities where they're swimming. But they can't do like
They
8
have no
million
backup.
laps in the pool.
I know. This is a big problem. Big problem. You want to hear the medal count?
Wow.
You got anything else before we go? All
Yeah, I got a couple things.
right, tell me.
So looking ahead, some fun stuff that happened today. Like I said, we'll cover swimming more in depth in the coming days.
Yeah.
But so I want to shout out Daniel Whiffen.
Shout out.
Daniel Whiffen won gold for the men's 800 free. That's freestyle. He is the first Irish swim medal ever.
My people on the
I don't-
map.
I don't know if it's maybe just for men or for any Irish, for the country. But either way, shout out Daniel Whiffen. Let's see. Oh, a couple of fencing updates.
Okay.
A couple.
This better be about the pregnant lady.
Yeah, well, the first one is.
Yeah,
So we're
tell
going to
us.
shout out Egyptian fencer Nada Hafez. Nada
Shout
or
out.
Hafez, wherever the
Shout-
emphasis is. 7 months pregnant. 7 months pregnant and competing. She didn't really advance. I think she advanced to like the round of 16 and she didn't get past the round of 16. She's an Olympian and she's there. And now her daughter is also technically.
And now she has a CPS case as well.
Yeah, it's not actual swords, but imagine.
Imagine it was actual swords and she's like, surprise, I'm 7 months pregnant. And everyone's like, that's kind of not cool, dude.
Yeah, it's not
Why
good.
would you do that?
We'd rather you drink tequila.
Yeah, it's not an actual sword.
So she was up there. So what a special moment. I remember being pregnant and I had a lot of stuff going on, but I was able to do, I think like 2 shows, two comedy shows while I was pregnant. And what a special, like I have those pictures from me on stage and I'm just like, yo, my daughter's in there. Like Lulu is telling jokes with me. So shout out Nada Hafez or Hafez.
Ready? Medal count.
Let's go.
Most gold. Japan with 7. China with 6. Australia with 6. This is as of Tuesday evening. Most medals in general. Bronze, silver, and gold. USA 25.
That's right.
France 18. China 14. So Japan really goes for quality over quantity. 7 gold. I love this Japan delegation. Shout out to them.
Yeah, me too. I fuck with Japan.
All right, everybody. We'll be back with Transcontinental Trina reporting live from the Olympic Village in a couple days with all the latest that you need. Thank you, Trina.
Merci. Oui, oui.
Fire fit, by the way.
Thank you. Salute.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.